Hey guys, we're going to do something a little different today. I want to show you around just kind of our pantries, kind of talk about how we live sustainable and what we're doing each and every day. Now, you know we're doing our gardens, we're doing our cows. You can go back and watch all the videos on all that kind of stuff. The sheep, the pig, all that. That's in every video that you've seen so far on this channel. But what we don't show you a lot of, and Misty shows you a little bit more on her channel, but what we don't show you a lot is really our food. Now, we can't show you everything, of course, but we want to show you how we raise enough food and how we get through years and years and years of providing for a family of 8. Let's dive into some of these shelves that you see behind me. Every time Misty says, we need more space, we need this, we try to make it happen so that way we are not ever limiting ourselves to having more food put up for safety. All right, first let's start here. This is just one of the many canning shelves. This is what we call our canning shelf that deals with kitchen only, meaning things that we're grabbing quicker. So for instance, we'll start up top. We have pickles. Of course, that's easy. We have ground pork, ground meat. If you're not canning meat, it's a game changer. We have tons of meat in the freezer. We have tons of meat still hanging out in the pastures. But when you take it to the next level of canning, you are now not needing the grid at all. We can the meat cooked, so therefore it is a true homesteader's fast food. This is a game changer. So we actually have pork and beef right there. This is some jelly. We also do our kombucha when we have it here. We have canned milk. Now, canned milk is not for us to drink. What we use our canned milk for, because you know we raise dairy cows. So we're drinking fresh milk. We're freeze drying milk, and we'll show you our freeze dryer in just a second. And then we're also canning milk. Now that canned milk is almost like evaporated milk. We use it the same way. We'll use it for cooking and mixing into anything we're making, such as breads or biscuits or anything that we're needing it for. So it allows us to keep our fresh milk for drinking, our fresh milk for things that we want to utilize it for, if it's for beef or cheese or for butter, and then allows us to have the canned milk for safety. Again, off-grid, fully contained raw milk that's lasting years. Not for us to drink. Now, we can rehydrate the freeze-dried milk, but really what this milk is for is simply for us to utilize. And so one thing you're going to get with this video is you're going to see everything in redundancy. I preach redundancy. So if we have milk in the fridge, I want milk in the pantry canned. I want milk in the freeze dryer, so I have powdered milk, powdered dairy, powdered protein. That's the best way to look at it. So even when we're doing cheese, we're going to also pull the whey off. We can even freeze dry the whey, and now we have protein powder like you would get at any store or any supplement store. So it's kind of a cool process. So we have canned milk. It looks kind of weird, but it is true canned milk. You can just shake it up and it turns back into regular looking milk. It looks almost like evaporated milk. Ours is a little bit more yellowish because, again, we have raw dairy milk versus having some kind of white milk from the store. This is that canned meat I was telling you about. I know it looks crazy, but this is a game changer. And really, if you want to try it, more than even the ground pork and the ground beef and ground sausage and all that, canned chicken is actually where it's at. That's probably one of the coolest things ever, because for us, we have rotisserie chickens because, you know, we raise our own chicken. And if we're able to cut it off the bone, put it in here, white meat, dark meat, we also have the broth, so we can make chicken broth. We can also have white meat for things that we're making, you know, cooking just in normal meals. If we're doing dark meat, we're doing something like dumplings. It allows us to be able to utilize it in all ways. And having it cooked already, prepared, that just takes hours out of your day when you're talking meal prepping for a family of 8. All right, now I want to show you some sweet potatoes. We have some sweet potatoes right here. We have some sweet potatoes right here. Now, it doesn't look like a lot here. What is this, Colby? Why is it just so sparse? We've got hundreds of pounds in our pantry, and I'm going to show you. These here, though, have a purpose. Those big ones, they're kind of holy, they're small. They're not ones that we want to eat. Now, we have some in the oven right now. But what are we doing with those right there? Well, we're making slips out of them. So we are providing our own sweet potatoes for the next year, and we're already starting to plant. So, for instance, these big ones, we know we're not going to eat them because they're just too overgrown. But look at what's growing right there. You see that? That is slips for the next sweet potato. So this sweet potato, this one big monster sweet potato that we're not going to eat, can provide another 30, 40, 50 pounds because of all the slips that's coming off of it. Each slip is going to give us plants. And so if you're looking for a sustainable crop that is healthy and phenomenally easy to grow, especially in a warmer area, look no further than sweet potatoes. Probably one of the best things to grow, and so versatile and so healthy as really a good quality carb. So we have sweet potatoes everywhere that you can imagine possible. Now, as I said, dairy milk. We have tons of dairy milk, and I'll show you kind of what we do. We put it up. You've got regular milk, of course, but then we've learned how to make butter. We've learned how to make buttermilk and culturing it. The whole purpose of us being farmers is that we want to make sure that we are learning each and everything that we possibly can about this one food item and try to be redundant with it and try to grow it to a point of just using every aspect of it. For instance, chicken. When we process a chicken, we take that chicken, we're going to rotisserie it, we're going to put it in a crock pot, it's going to cook. What meat we eat off of it that night's great. Then we're going to take what meat is left. We'll either can it or utilize it in another meal. We also take the bones, put those back in there, and we'll let it just simmer because we're going to make a chicken broth out of it. The bones then you can take and make bone meal out of, or you can take and give to your animals. We tend to give ours to our pigs, so therefore you're not wasting anything with that animal. Then you could take the chicken and you can freeze it, you can can it, and you can even freeze dry chicken. So you're making that chicken last several ways for a long time. Now we call this our grocery pantry. You see there's a door that says pantry. We don't buy a lot of food, but we do go to Costco and Whole Foods and Walmart maybe once a month if need be. Now this is also where our freeze dryer is. We are Harvest Right. We believe in Harvest Right. We love them. We've had a small. We used it to a point where we just couldn't use it anymore because it was just too small for us. So then we went to the large. My kids love apples, bananas, and then we also put up real bigger foods and great foods. We put up all kind of food up in the processor. But this is some of the things that we buy that's things that we can't produce, but also it's healthy for us. Now, if you look right here, this is all herbs that we are growing. This is cookbooks. This is our dehydrator over here, along with our food processor. One thing we've learned is we're going to put up and freeze dry and dehydrate for anything that we can't eat fresh. So if we can't eat enough limes, then we'll freeze dry the limes. If we can't eat enough peppers, then we will dehydrate and freeze dry peppers. So then I can rehydrate them, put them in, like for instance, hamburger steak tonight, and we've got it made. Now I want to show you. You see this? That's just closed. It's nothing to it. But then we also have a vacuum sealer canner. So then anything we want to dry can, we put that vacuum sealer on it. We can lock those lids down and they stay fresher for longer. And so we take a freeze-dried item and put them in some bags. Then we take freeze-dried items and put them in some glasses. And we're allowing those things to make it for a longer amount of time. Now behind this is just more cabinetry, but also what we do is this is where we keep our liquor and things like that. Now we don't drink, we've told you that before, but we keep a lot of vodka and bourbon and Everclear on hand so we can make tinctures. And we're going to go and look at some of the herbs, but this is some of the things. For instance, we make our own vanilla. So here's vanilla. We use Madagascar grade B vanilla bean, and we rehydrate with bourbon, whiskey, or vodka. And so then therefore it takes and extracts all the goodness out. So we have homemade vanilla that lasts a long, long time, and it's healthy, good, it's not imitation, and it is a game changer when you talk about saving money in processing. So this is our what we call our bulk pantry. Now a lot of this is still stuff that we grow, but this is also where we put stuff if we're going to Costco, Whole Foods, Walmart, whatever it may be. This is kind of where those things are, along with some of the apples and bananas and things like that. Now if you've never had like freeze-dried bananas or freeze-dried apples, all it does is it enhances the taste because you're taking the moisture out of it. These little banana chips almost remind you of candy. They're so amazing and they're healthy. So like I love cottage cheese as a snack. I do a lot of carnivore. But when I incorporate carbs back, I use freeze-dried apples, freeze-dried bananas, and dip it in there like a chip. So I'm getting that crunch, that fulfillment of what I'm wanting, but all quality health. Freeze dryers are second to none, dehydrators are second to none, and you can make a chip just out of anything that's even healthy. Now I would like to just blame this on my wife, but truthfully, it's my fault too. In here, this is a 8-foot shelf and about 3 foot deep. That's a lot of square footage for just seeds. We believe in seeds and keeping seeds. Now, this is not our safety seeds. This is extra seeds that we're going to plant for this year, next year, and just keep as we need them. We come and grab them. We also have a seed vault that is put into a cool, dark place that we keep in a very safe, inconspicuous place, just so we always have seeds available. But we have, garden seeds, herbal seeds, survival garden seeds, microgreens, cover crops, spring garden, summer garden. We love survival garden seeds. If you're not buying survival garden seeds, you should. They're non-GMO heirloom seeds, and also usually non-hybrid, depending on which ones you're buying. But then it tells you how to raise your seeds for the long haul, which is a phenomenal thing, and that's exactly what we want to do. Now, people think we're crazy. I'm going to show you this candy shelf. We have another candy shelf. This is more pickles, squash, corn, pears, carrots, more corn, peas, jams, our plum tree. Dude, it's the bomb. I'm not going to lie. And so we literally raise a ton of plums off one tree. Now, we've planted more, but one tree can provide us enough plum jelly and enough plums to last us for years and years. So we just keep stockpiling, keep stockpiling, keep stockpiling. We'll sell some, and it's a great thing to have. Now, you notice we have a lot of freezers here. We have a lot of freezers in the other one. We're a family of 8, and we don't go out and eat a lot. So this is our pork fridge. We have some butter and some cheeses that we've made. All this is our pork right there. Some sausage, some more cheese. There's a Boston butt. Down here, some hams, some sausages. We make all our own sausages. So this is some ground sausage. My sausage, I have to be honest with you, is second to none. We can't even eat store-bought sausage anymore because we've learned to make it the way we like it. And that's one thing about raising your own food and raising your own meat. You kind of can make it and make it taste the way you want to make it taste and nothing else. Now look at this. What did I tell you about redundancy? Milk. We can milk. We drink fresh milk. We freeze our milk. Then we freeze milk. Why? Because when our cows go through a process of what we call weaning and getting ready for the next cow, freshen up is what a lot of people call it, or getting ready to produce the next baby for the next milk, we give them a break, a 2-month window. So we keep this so then we can defrost and we can drink milk still normally. So we never go without raw dairy fresh milk. So that's our milk freezer. That's just one of them, to be honest with you. And here is our beef. We have some beef from all our steers. We've got some colostrum. We've got some chicken broth. All that's in there. There's one Azure box in there. I think it has some, carrots or something in it. In here, this is cheeses, again, milk, some pecans that we were able to barter with. So I had a gentleman call me and say, look, we have pecans all over the ground. I was not able to go. Misty said, well, look, I'm going to go out there and pick the pecans. I don't want to waste them, and pecans are expensive. Nuts are expensive. So she went and picked those, and we shelled them. Again, blueberries. We produce our own blueberries here on farm. More cheese, more carrots. More strawberries, anything that we can't eat fresh, then we want to preserve it. We never waste. Even if we can't eat it and it all of a sudden goes bad, it doesn't go bad for our hogs, and so it's really good. So another fridge that holds our milk. There's nothing really in there other than fresh milk. In this room is where I film just about every day when it comes to our main, our main channel, the Max. Of course, you see we're incubating eggs. Now, we're doing this inside, so don't tell me you can't raise animals inside. We're literally raising about 60 chicks right here. This is our prepper's pantry, so all this stuff is for long-term use. So in here, these are Mylar bags. This room does not have any real light coming into it, so we keep it very dark and very balanced in our temperature, around 60 to 70 just about all year long. So we have rice, flour, wheat berries, artisan blends, all that stuff goes right here. This is things that we've bought over time to stockpile. What did I tell you about these sweet potatoes? Look, there's sweet potatoes down there. There's sweet potatoes all around that shelf right there. And then there's sweet potatoes even below this shelf right here. Now, when we film, you see a lot of this in the background. And a lot of people say, well, why are you canning eggs? Why are you canning eggs? No, that's water-glassed eggs with pickling lime in the bottom. It helps us be able to establish raw eggs to last for 2 or 3 years. It's amazing. It's mind-blowing. It is almost the coolest science ever. So we leave them what we call dirty, leave the bloom on. We don't wash them. Get them from the chicken. Make sure they're okay. Put them in there with some lime. And you are pretty much going to get 90 to 100% of those eggs that's going to last for 2 to 3 years. We're eating on some now. You can break them open. It is a little bit more congealed, but you can cook them any way you want to. You can fry them, you can scramble them, you can put them in cakes. The only thing is you're probably not going to get that sunny side up egg, but other than that, you can pretty much have it any way that you like. More jellies, more jams, pears. And see, here's what I'll show you. We have pear trees, but they don't produce a lot. So we barter. A lot of these things, even if we're not growing them, we are going and bartering with our neighbors. So something they may want, like we talked about, the slips from sweet potatoes, because those sweet potatoes are from an heirloom variety from hundreds of years ago. So if we can't utilize as much slips, we can barter with some other things. That is the blessing of building community the right way. So we have tons of jars. Now, we don't can the eggs. We use old pickle jars. So we go to baseball fields, football fields, different places all over our community, churches, and say, hey, all your old pickle jars, don't throw them away. Bring them to me. So we rack up on old pickle jars, and that's what we use to water glass our eggs, because it doesn't have to be sealed. It just needs to close. So that's what we do. Now I want to show you something that's even cooler. Over here, and I think I kind of showed this in another video. Again, we have 5-gallon buckets of coconut oils, of lard, of honey, our own honey, because we raise bees. Everything you can think of, I've got raised and put in 5-gallon buckets. Look at this. We've got them everywhere down here. So they're going around the room with all kinds of things in it that could benefit us and, be good for us. Now, over here in this section, this is our herbal section and our fermenting section. So we have tons of bottles that we have for kombucha, for anything that we're trying to ferment in these amber glasses. Also, if we're making tinctures, medicines, we also put them in these auburn glasses as well. So we have all kinds of things like echinacea and tons of other roots that we have, elderberries, things like that. That's all on this shelf. And then over here is things that we've grown and made tinctures out of. This is Misty's forte. So right here we have things like powders. We even have liver. We have liver. We have vitamin C, which is going to be things like our citrus fruits that we've ground. We have kale. We have moringa. We have all kind of herbs that have medicinal benefits. Raspberry leaves. We make our own supplements. Look at that. How cool that is. That's kumquat, vitamin C. This more herbs, and we label them. And then we make little tinctures, our own medicines. Look at that. Yarrow, echinacea, wild lettuce, elderberry syrups, more of these here. This is moringa peels, and this is vitamin C, kumquats. There's some usnea. There's all kinds of things there that we utilize and we build our own medicines with. That is a game changer. Things that we do here. This is a cool room, so we have a cool room if we're hanging animals, if we're processing. In this room too, you see, we're always buying extra glasses. We're always buying extra canning lids. This is our canning section. We have hundreds upon hundreds upon hundreds of canning lids and canning goods that we need, because we know that is a game changer when it comes to making sure that we have everything we need when it comes to taking care of our family. So I want to show you one more thing before we wrap this video up, because I wanted it to be a short video, but I wanted to encourage you, because you can do all these things literally with neighbors, community, helping, bartering, and building other options, even growing food in your house. Look at this. Now over here we have tons of things that's growing that we started seeds. Misty has been very, very proactive about growing indoors this year. That's why we're building the bigger greenhouse. But look at this. This is set up with a $30 rack from Walmart or Home Depot. And we bought LED lights that are grow lights all the way down. So we are giving them their natural light from the windows, but also artificial light to make sure that we can get these things growing and up. Now, for instance, look at these microgreens. You can eat them just like that. Look at that. How cool is that? So we're growing microgreens. We're growing things all in our windowsill. And not only could you make a business out of this, you can then have sustainable food grown right in your windowsill. So don't be discouraged when you say, I don't have a lot of room. Make room. I mean, we built a dining room, and this is going to probably end up being almost like an indoor greenhouse for a lot of things to start. I mean, look, we have asparagus, we have sweet potato slips right on our counter. We don't ever want to go without making sure that we are growing and utilizing every aspect of our shelving, every aspect of our homes, because we know how important it is to be sustainable. Now, this is just a small portion of our prepper's pantry, but just what you just saw would feed us for 3 to 5 years. We also have another pantry that we do keep very inconspicuous. We do keep just for ourselves to make sure that we are not showing everything to everyone. But what is that? That is more seeds. That is more food. That's things for long term. Why? Because we want to make sure that even when this could fail us, we don't want to put all our eggs in one basket. We have another location with just about the same amount of food that can take care of us, and also all the things that we need to build sustainability. I hope this little video encourages you. I want to make you see the importance and inspire you to do more and grow and take care of your family, because as much as it is easy as it is to go get a pizza or to get a hamburger or just go to Walmart and buy something, and I'm not saying don't do that. I know we're all busy. I don't want to ever act like you can't make an excuse to go cheat a little bit. But what I do want you to do is be inspired to do more. And if you can grow and do a little bit more each and every day, just 1 or 2%, 3%, 5%, 10% each and every day and week, you're going to realize how important it is, and you're going to see a difference, not only in your health, but in your peace. You're going to have more peace when you know you have these things on the shelf. Guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like more videos like this, like the tours, we're fixing to do an aerial tour with our drone to show you our farm. I want to encourage you to be more sustainable. We don't have a lot of people that come in and do work. Sometimes we have people that work for us, but ultimately, it's us working our farm. It's hard work, but we put the effort in because we know what it's going to give us. Sustainability. We believe in stewardship, and God gives us all this to take care of, and then satisfaction. We know that we've been blessed, and we want to be able to provide for our families, and this is the way. Guys, thank you for watching. God bless.